Welcome to the Visual Notes by Rana Infographics. Our aim is to simplify learning experience. So let's start with the second chapter. What is biological classification? The process of grouping together various organisms according to their similarities, dissimilarities, and phylogenetic descent is known as biological classification. Now let us have a look at the history. Since the very beginning, there have been multiple attempts to classify living organisms. In around 382 BC, Aristotle was the earliest to attempt at a more scientific basis for classification. Later, he came to be known as father of biology and zoology. He classified organisms into two kingdoms, that is, plants and animals. He broadly categorized the plant kingdom into three groups, that is, shrubs, herbs, and trees. And he classified the animal kingdom into two groups, which is animals with red blood cells and animals without red blood cells. The next best attempt was in about 1707 by Carl von Linné, also known as C. Linnaeus, father of taxonomy. He also classified living organisms into two kingdoms of plants and animals. This system did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms. For a long time, these two systems of classification were used, but they were found inadequate because a large number of organisms did not fall under either plants or animals. There was also a need for including other characteristic features like the cell structure, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, methods of reproduction, evolutionary relationships, and more. Over the years, biological classification systems have undergone several changes. Though the plant and animal kingdoms have been constant under all different systems, the understanding of what organisms should be included under these kingdoms have been constantly changing. The number and nature of other kingdoms have also been understood differently by different scientists over the ages. In 1969, R. H. Whittaker classified organisms into 5 kingdoms based on the cellular structure, complexity, mode of nutrition, phylogenetic relationships, and the ecological role performed by them. This 5-kingdom classification is the most prevalent classification system that is used today. Let's have a look at the 5-kingdom classification. The 5 kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Now let us see the first kingdom, Monera, which comprises of bacteria. The cell type of kingdom Monera is prokaryotic, whilst the rest are eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells are comparatively smaller and much simpler than eukaryotic cells. They possess a cell wall which is formed of polysaccharides and amino acids. Unlike eukaryotic cells, prokaryotic cells do not possess nuclear membrane. Bacteria are unicellular organisms, that is, they consist of a single cell. They can be both autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic bacteria produce their own food through chemosynthesis and photosynthesis. In chemosynthesis, they use chemical energy, whilst in photosynthesis, they use sunlight to produce their own food. The heterotrophic bacteria can be parasitic or saprophytic, that is, they depend on other organisms for food or on dead organic matter for food. Now coming to kingdom Protista, they are eukaryotes. Some of them contain cell walls. All eukaryotic cells contain membrane-bound nucleus. They are unicellular. They are autotrophic as well as heterotrophic. Now coming to kingdom Fungi, they are eukaryotes and their cell wall is composed of chitin. They possess nucleus membrane and are multicellular and are heterotrophic. The next kingdom is Plantae. They are eukaryotic. their cell wall mainly comprises of cellulose. They possess nucleus membrane and they exhibit tissue or organ system level of body organization. They are multicellular and autotrophic organisms. Last but not the least, we have kingdom Animalia. They are eukaryotic, hence they possess nuclear membrane. The cell wall is absent. They exhibit tissue or organ system level of body organization. They are heterotrophic. The five kingdom classification addressed the following issues of the past. In the past, the systems of classification, the plant kingdom included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. The criteria being all these organisms possess cell walls in their cells. And this placed together groups which were widely different in other characteristics. For example, it had both prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic bacteria like blue-green algae in the same group. It also placed together unicellular and multicellular organisms together, example Chlamydomonas and Spirogera. And lastly, there was no differentiation between the heterotrophic group fungi and the autotrophic green plants, that is fungi, had chitin in their cell walls, while green plants had a cellulosic cell wall. If you liked our infographic notes and would like to watch more of such videos, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to download these notes, then read the description box below and follow us on Instagram.